when you become a mother, kunyara kunopera. Right, that's me for you. You become more emotional because you've got a little human being you need to, So I also luckily for me, we didn't get to use public transport. Right. So it meant maybe if I'm driving, I can park on the side, I think I'm cast it. But if you kind of clinic, for instance, because I thought young say to say my state by one side of Kaka one at a time. Next time was right. So I would actually commend. I know we like going to my private, but don't underestimate the nurses that have been, nursing that have been nursing mothers for how many years.
No more. And I
remember when our mothers were doing it, they would put spirit on the belly every morning. Now every nappy changing.
Yes.
Because when you're growing up, but apparently Nova is a sign of dehydration.
Right.
I didn't even see that. But I asked, was so one kaka here, next feeding, next kaka, alternating.
Got you. So this is so interesting, my Juju. And I just had a thought process that it seems like, maybe let me ask this question differently. Auntie Faye, in your experience, where did this shame of breastfeeding our children come from? And if you're listening in 0719 when you breastfeed your child in public, do you cover or don't cover? We want to hear your thoughts and your whys. What are your reasons for doing that? But where do you think this shame came from? Because when we look at, say, our history, our grandmothers, in fact, let me not say grandmothers, Ambuya Amwene was not undignified. Pabanga why to respect? I was just Ambuya Manga. So no say, hey. I also hey, but I'm just saying, but very Ambuya. And then post-colonialism, we've become the most conscious and the most upright human beings on earth, where breastfeeding your child in public seems like, such a shameful thing. Where do you think that came from Auntie Faye?
Thank you for I like what she was saying. That's reality. My experience is that, I fall in the middle of pre and post-colonial era, where breastfeeding and there was no judgment, nothing. It was a normal thing. And then came a time somewhere pakati papa pekuti ini ndinofunga kuti zvakabva let me say culture confusion, if there is such a thing, where vanhu vanga vaconscious manje zvinoitwa ne-Western culture nezvatinoita isusu, so kuzvisanganisa, the confusion comes. Kuda kuadopta kuchirungu, kuda kumaintaina our culture chaunoziva, and then the confusion comes, and then you'd rather not breastfeed for as long as pari pavana, because hazvingoiti ndionekwe ndichiyamwisa zvinonyadzisa. But Auntie Faye vari kuti mwana paplug, hanzi mwana pachaja, hanzi chajisai mwana. Ndonzwa vakomana vemumakombi vaya vanoyatsoti amaisai mwana pachaja, mwana ngaiswe pachaja chero pese pese.
Ivo vemakombi vaya ndovandoona kuti sometimes ndovanowedzera kusvoda kwemunhu, handiti, because makomenti anozobuda mukanwa mavo dzimwe dzenguva.
But ruzhinji kana vataura kuti isa mwana pachaja, unotoona amai vanenge vanga vachizeza, unotoona vakutoisa mwana wayo pasamu, vanochisununguka zvino. Saka vanenge vachishaya kuti pamwe ndikayamwisa baba vakagara pakuda vanondidongorera here, ameno zvinenge zvichifungwa. And also my observation, vazhinji mazuva ano vakuita pakufara, vanovhara, but zvakudhipenda nokuti ndekupi. Tikaenda lesei kumusha, pane gathering chichi amai ningi zvikazodai ndiri kumboyamwisa mwana iyo rakanyasonzi yacha hapana kana I mean that's normal,
right?
Yes.
And hafaniri kusvoda kuti ndiri pana tezvara here, hafaniri kusvoda
pana tezvara unozongosuduruko hako kauenda kuchikona hauzonyatsoti pamberi pavo
because somehow this charger has become sexualized. Right?
To a great extent,
yeah.
And have you noticed kuti mwana hazviziva kuti uri pakani.
Exactly.
And imagine unenge wafamba close to feeding time yake, and then nzara kana yamubata aiwa mhere inopangurwa mama anochemwa kunge zvecho ani makafunza kuti mwana ndewenyu ari kutochema zvokuratidza kuti chi ane nzara ada kuisa pachachi.
Tiritapo wataura maijiji mataura kuti close to feeding time yake, asi nendikuyasambiya nyamu kuti anichiti mwana haana feeding time. Anytime is feeding time.
Mwana agadzirirwe here routine yekufita.
Aiwa, mwana agadzirirwe routine. As long as achiyamwa tiri kuti exclusive breastfeeding for the next 6 months. Saka nari paperiod ye up to 6 months haana timetable. Macues aya ekutsvaga mukaka ndiwo anokuudza. In fact unenge wakastada mwana wako uchimunzwisisa. Saka unotozvinzwisa kuti kuzviri kuzha kuinepi, I mean nepi kana mazuva ano kune chiisa
mapamba kani
madhaipa mazuva ano kune madhaipa. Saka unotoziva the difference between kuda kuchinjwa dhaipa nekuda kudya. Ende tiri kuti hazvina nguva. Mwana anoyamwa 6 to 8 times. Handiti ukada kucalculata svomo dzacho dzopedzisira dza 2 to 3 hours. But isusu hatisi kuda kuti muti aya mwana 11 saka achazoya mwana 1. Once you do that aya abva emta azadza dhaipa anosara kaine nzara oda futi kuyamwa iwo wakamirira 1 wakustafa mwana.
Wow, but I still want to come back for like nyaya yandaitaura yekuti waindi chivhara. Do you know the problem yatinayo now in society ka? Remember sometimes tokunofanira kuchifamba nemakombi handisi paunokwira kombi paipe remember takagara tiri 4 handisi pamwe mwana ari kuchema mati byanyamukuta kwanzi mwana co-drive anzi conductor ati mwana ngaiswe pachaja ndisi pachaja pacho look takagara tiri 4 pamwe uri mumushikashika as an example unomisa pachaja sei ari kumusana arikuda kuburutswa yes arikuda kuchajwa muri 4 let's look at mushikashika kana wehonda fit yavo takagara tiri 4 how do we manipulate that guy?
So the thing is look kana handiti mushikashika kana tiri 4 kune kuti vana mberi vamwenda kumashure tikuzoaskiri mune muri 4 but I mean kuti we can't sit shoulder to shoulder tese mumwe anotoswedera kumberi mumwe oenda kumashure but mukwane muri 4 handiti. I think also the trick behind is wearing the right clothes because chinozoita kuti tinyare pamwe pacho is because it's either you are whipping it from the top or from the bottom. And
do you see where the other problem comes? In maonero according to how I have also observed it, unoona kuti vana vatiri kufamba navo mazuva ano especially ndovanzi generation Z handiti
kwatwa neimwe futi after
Gen Z vana ivavo they don't even understand chinonzi ma-social issues akadaro kana kuti let me say ma-social issues handiti they don't even understand kuti zvinofambiswa sei. Look wakagara ipapo mejuju uda kuyamwisa mwana iye akagara paside pako akaisa ma-earphones ake iye isusu kudhara when we were very young tichitanga kuyamwisa ka the next person no matter kuti murume no matter kuti mukadzi no matter kuti mukuru no matter kuti mudiki they would understand kuti pari kuda kuyamwiswa mwana and they would give way but vamazuva ano they don't even understand.
This is interesting. 0719100404. Is there any social code for breastfeeding in public? I mean, like when a mom needs to breastfeed in public, is there where also we around this mom must also act in support of charging the baby? I don't know if it's that derogatory or I certainly hope it's not.
So do you know
we have to charge the baby?
With issue yoyo, depend also on how a person was brought up. So wakwira mulift nemwana asina mwana or nemunhu asina mwana, they wouldn't care less if you want to breastfeed
they
or
don't
not.
understand that.
But do we care about other people or our child is hungry?
we shouldn't care about other people, but mushika. You also need to consider that do you know when
but nyango akaona ndo pachadi
they will tell you kuti mother garemusha. Have you ever encountered that?
mother garemusha.
I know but garemusha.
I hear what my tuition's issue is. It's not so much the breastfeeding in public, it's also the decorum.
You need to sit properly.
Yeah, it can be tricky.
So coming to that, I agree with her to say background yemunhu kana ari kubva kumba kune vana achizoti mwana anoiswa pazamu zvinongoitwa nemwana anozvinzwisisa as opposed to this one maybe ari kutobva kustorina that kind of exposure saka zvinenge zvaadependent kuti wasangana nezvipi musi iwoyo.
Got you.
Yeah.
0719, sorry my Juju, 0719 100 404. Do you think, are you agreeing with the discussions we're having this morning? Have we sexualized the baby's charger? Because that's actually what it is. To be very honest, have we sexualized it so much that we feel indecent when we have to charge the baby in public? And what have been your experience in breastfeeding in public? My Kayla, good morning. FoLake. Honestly, you can only do that maybe when I church. The moment mwana panenga kuma 4 or 5 months. Zvibude because iye wacho anenge asingadi zvekuvhagwa ndijuju wekuti karate achitobvisa chaizvo. I can remember, I think this is a man who's saying this, I can remember another lady asked me to put back her child's milk in her bra. You see? Because her hands were dirty and I helped her. I don't know, I feel
it's weird
like saying it.
But you know what? Most jokes start from the truth. They start from real life experiences.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a lie.
And this is the thing though, and thank you for highlighting that, because even if it did happen, it shouldn't be awkward because there's nothing amiss about that.
Okay.
Why should there be something amiss about the baby's? If we look at it as the baby's charger,
so
then we should be able to say, sorry.
But now the problem is, like you're saying, people are beginning to sexualize this thing. You know, brain especially in society such things.
You can't even say it, right?
But guess what?
That's where the people's brain starts.
From knowing my body, before I was pregnant or before I had Juju, obviously if a guy touches your breasts, it sends certain signals. When you're breastfeeding, it's like your boobs are dead. But they have no feeling.
Is that a general feeling or this is a my Juju feeling?
No, it's a general feeling. When you're breastfeeding.
You know what? You're not going to get a general feeling to you, but what about the person who
maybe the reason why I got in this because the apana feeling each other one at that moment.
But it's right. That's why even my perspective is you may not necessarily close on the baby. You may just need kungovara on the chest. Like I like when you say sometimes it's important to take a bed comfortable. But maybe sometimes take a topping in yangu. Wakanga kutushada charger mwana mrod. Then was ngoti amenezwa zviri kuita. You flip it from under over water and
I don't think there's any formula to this. Flip it from the bottom if you must.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
But you know what? When they start seeing that,
yeah,
it sounds wrong.
Do you know what? Brain, especially, let me say this: a male's brain. Most of the time, serious.
But look, from my experience, I had no feeling, right? For the whole, I breastfed for 2 years, 3 months.
Okay. Wow.
Exclusively for 6 months, and then I wanted to end at 2 years, but kadhara kakatozosvika level yekuti uchitobva kubasa unotosikopuchwa andiyakutodhonza hembe
Yeah.
but this is the becoming of this baby and the 3 months idzi kuti zoita 3 months ka ndakamboisa kamhiripiri auya watikuti oti mhepo next thing kusvika zvisavave ndakaona kaiwa apa ndatooneka ganda ngapa ndakatozomuregedzisa netsunami yeah I put I'm telling you
yabviswa tsunami mumastreets
no but I'm saying this is like 9 years ago ndakaisa tsunami ka haakamba pakutanga kavaviwa akaenda saka panenda ngosiya iri panzeka akasvika svika padhuze oti obva ndirasa kumeso obva aenda after 3 months that's when zvakapera
Okay.
Wow.
completely 2 years 3 months that guy was I think ndosaka akangwara mani
So I'm saying, once you know that you are breastfeeding, right? Unofanira kupfeka zvisingakunetsi, zviri comfortable, and kune a dress maybe open pamberi, ne breastfeeding bra, you just open outer expose zvinhu zvakawanda, handiti. And also my juju. Kuisa tsunami, kuisa
what do you know to happen unogona kuswera uchiramba nawo handiti then wabatwa nehope
we get you, we're not even judging you, but
we are not judging you,
but hey,
but kuruma
it's
another topic on its own, but it should be. Do you know paunotanga kubreastfeeda mwana wako uchangomuzvara ndo paunotanga futi kudi kuwina wozonyatsointroduce winning chaiyo paunointroduce other feeds after 6 months.
So let's hold that topic. I think that's actually a great topic. And also, as a mom listening in, I'm sure you might also have had challenges with weaning your baby. When you want to share notes on how to do that, maybe we can do that next week. I want to come back to something that you said, Auntie Faye, which I thought was interesting. And for me, not having any children, I thought it was interesting. You said, you know, your baby communicates what they need, from diaper change to more milk to burp me or whatever babies are thinking. Before we actually get to the issue we want to talk about, which is breastfeeding whilst living with HIV, how do you, what are those things? How does the baby communicate?
All right. Let me start from when you get pregnant. You have the pregnancy strip showing 2 lines. As soon as you get pregnant, you start communicating with your baby until delivery. Mwana anenge achitonzwa zvese, pamunotukana anoenda mukona, zvese zvamunoita ukaisa music anenge achitoinzwa. Saka communication starts ari mudumbu. This is when you start creating your baby's character.
Wow.
Kana uchingoti nhumbi iyo ina asingaide ndisingadi mwana uyoyo anozokuitirai matantrums, anoita chibehavior chekuti hamunzwisisi, and then azvarwa wanga uchiziva uchitaura naye uchiita mapositive affirmations and all that, azozvarwa mwana uya handiti, then you continue achiyamwa, unosvipa nguva kuyamwa hakusi kwekungo isachajehovha waizomura zvinoda time
literally
zvinoda time, your whole everything, kuzvipa nguva chaiyo yekuti ndakuyamwisa pano, and you still continue talking to your baby. Saka mwana ane kumwe kuunderstanda kwaanokuita uchito kumwe kuunderstanda kwaanoita. That's why you hear certain mothers vachiti machemero aya aiwa ruda kuyamwa, ndofunga diaper change. That's why hazvingotangi kuti abuda. Zvimwe zvinotanga abuda if you have usingazive kuti waifanirwa kutoramba uchitaurawo nemwana wako ari mudumbu. Mese nababa vacho kana varipo anototi vachipinda padhoo apo, maswera sei, unotoona akutovhura maziso kuti voice riri kupi. At birth chaiko achangozvarwa, baba vacho vakauya kana vaitaura naye anorespond. Yes. So as much as we say mudzimai ziva miri wako, also understand your baby deeply like that.
You've just reminded me of a study I read some time ago that said pretty much what you're saying, that for the first, I think they said 21 months from moment of conception, I think, whatever you say, whatever you feel and say, your baby is taking in and it molds who they become.
That's 21 weeks, not months.
No, months. No. Months. Because it's from the moment there's conception after birth. Whatever, I'll need to find the study again. But it was so interesting that they take in all the after Atwajagwa, from Achirumdumbu, and then to a period after Ajagwa.
Okay.
Your baby is taking in all those emotions. They feel them. And it actually then molds who they become. So like you were saying, if you a mom were stressed, you were anxious, you actually pass that on into your child, and and they become a reflection, a manifestation of what you were experiencing when you were pregnant. Wow, that's fascinating. But let's put that to the side. We can always come back to it. Let's talk about mothers who are living with HIV. And then they fall pregnant. So maybe firstly, let's listen to my no story, and then you can help us with that. My Juju, do you think you should breastfeed when?
So with what I know now, they have educated the good thing is now when you get pregnant, they test you first, so they know how to treat you. So when you're positive, either you're on medication, they know how to prevent mother to child transmission. But then the testing was not on the high side, right? I remember I had a friend who was positive. She gave birth to a negative child, but she was told you can't breastfeed. So she was buying the nuns, the what, to breastfeed, to give milk to the child, because she was told you can't breastfeed.
All right, so let's talk about that this hour. If you are living with HIV and have had babies, we want to hear your story. Did you breastfeed or did you not breastfeed? 0719 104 9741 kanzi inini ndiri kusaidire vanonyara ndinovhara nekuti ndinovhara zvokuti mwana unopedzera atova used nekuvhara mukaka wake and hazvinetsekana zvikai inini, as much as it may not be shameful to breastfeed your baby in public, I think it's also wise for our moms to be organized. Anyway, makanyora short and manje, it becomes difficult for people like me who are not Gen Z. Wear the right clothes, these days, blouse and a zip on the bust to allow you to bring out only your nipple. I don't know if it's okay to say. That's
the type C.
Yeah. The type C. I'll go with type C. Only your type C and not expose the whole charger. Try to feed baby as much as possible before embarking on a journey. But again, you said there's no formula. Mananga ango feedwa. As and when. And again, what does that milk cry sound like? Anita say that out amka.
I'm not very unsettled. I mean, as I said earlier on, kuti amai ndio vanonyatsoziva mwana wavo kuti apa, and also considering kuti ndambomuyamisa nguva iyi, she just picks kuti mwana apa ari kuda kuyamiswa, and then she also picks kuti mwana ndisingadayepa dini ranyanya.
Okay. So I was traveling on Wednesday, and there was this woman with a baby who was crying. You know that cry, I just thought, could it be a diaper? So I think they were traveling as a family, because it was the 3 that side, 4 in the middle, 3 that side. So they were occupying the 4, the 3 in front of me, and I think I was sitting with the gogo. Gogo choti, mwana chichi kanza akuramba baba wakatambidza mai mwana. Mwana arikushiringinya. Vakazongopedzera vangoriburitsa panze kudai akaramba mukaka. Kudonzi foni airamba. Apparently it was a diaper change. Because nowadays you have no excuse for taking so long in a diaper, because the diaper technology has reached a point where in whatever lock-in moisture, where when it's now drenched, it becomes like jelly. It doesn't.
So it's uncomfortable.
Yeah,
baby.
and
it's a topic on its own that one.
Yeah.
I won't even open my mouth.
So after the diaper, guess what? Normal. But I'm thinking, from the time these people checked in they waited all the way kuzopinda mwana akati munenge bye you know. Plus you know with children nyange akachema zvimwe zvisiri zvedhaipa ukamisa mukaka hawanzoramba mukaka but ukaona paramba mukaka it definitely shows something is wrong.
Yes.
All right. 071910404. To you as a mom, how do you know when your baby needs milk? Murikuziya sesvika mwana haana timetable yekuyamwisa madzimai ngatiyamwise vana vedu takasununguka musingati kwa 11 o'clock kana kuti tichazoita nzendo gandipfakire mukaka kuti agara akaguta kusvika tasvika kwamutare bodo kwai mwana ngaangomwa mukaka paaguta ndipapo paanozouda ngaangoumwa.
So I have a question for her. So tomboti you know you want to travel and then you express mbodoro. Do you encourage to express uchifamba nemwana wacho kuti angomwa ake straight from source or zvoenda mbodoro?
Yeah, that's a tricky one. Because chokuti kasamura choripo saka ukumboendera mbodoro.
Aiwa kamuri kunyara kagoza. Remember tikutaura nyaya yekuti kuburitsa panze. In your case funga kana matogara mukombi makufana kufunza maoko makufana kuti
nekuti mukaka kana uchibuda straight kubva kuna amai unotouya uri sterile like that. Zvino kuzongoisa mbodhoro matotaura kuti bhodhoro obviously bhodhoro richaiswa chititi ende kana raiswa chititi mwana wacho vazhinji vanoramba bhodhoro unenge uri padhuze because pane senti inobva pazama apa inoita kuti mwana ade mukaka wake. That's why mwana mucheche azvarwa iko zvino mukamisa padhuze nezama anokanga azosvika ipapo wakavarera anenge achiteera pasenti. So it would be kind of unfair to use a bottle when the breast is already there. And also kuti muchamupa nechititi isusu tiri kuti izvozvo zvatizvide for as long as uchikwanisa kuyamwisa.
Also, on another note, I think it's a bit unfair because now personally, I'm not a fan of my formula. I've usually but I've never liked Sokupamana formula. Why? Because I believe breast milk in a temperature. And I really think it's what. I'm not Sokupamana formula. I say it. Thermometer mukaka.
But James.
There's a lot of handling that goes on. And also zvakudependa kuti mwana ari at what stage yegrowth. Kana kuti zivi anoramba anenge achida zamu rake.
You know what, FoLake? Actually in Zuru I spent the day with my brother's wife. And a baby approaches 1 year next week actually. 1 year I've never seen such a child. Pese pachema munanda zvokudya saka vakangona kuti kudya kwacho yes but mukaka he loves mukaka wake. So taiti takagara she would know mwana afuna mukaka kuchema kwake ndiko kuda mukaka obva topiwa mukaka pandavati zvazanda kuda kufunga kumvumura because akura izvozvo ndikati saka pamukumvumura muchamuita sei zvikanzi I'm actually struggling and because I don't know kuti ndamuita sei haabvumi formula kana zvezvokuti nani or what mbavambotry I don't know another brand remukaka risiri nani he's not going for that.
Breast milk is uncomparable. Nothing beats breast milk, and I'm glad that Zimbabwe is a breastfeeding nation and there are systems in place already about breastfeeding. So mwana iye ari right chokuti area ndikuona ndeyekuti the winning process, let it be a topic.
Other than the winning process, what's the appropriate age you feel breastfeeding mothers should then say after 1 year you can wean off, after 2 years you can wean off? What's the right age?
The right age to wean.
Recommended rather, health-wise.
I know it's so small, 2 years and
Do you know by news this woman aiyamwisa mwana anga ane 7 years?
6 years, I remember.
Achitochova but not happens nothing.
Actually saw one issue, one story in later. It was ane mwana ane 6 years achiyamwa, ane mwana ane 2 years akazozvarwa afterwards, ane a small baby.
Yes, it's possible.
But it's also just, is it also not just enculturation that makes us feel like 6 years is awkward because you gotta know young Wisa.
You know, I mean, under normal circumstances. Under normal
Do you guys culture nation at your auntie? Do you?
I think most mothers now, let's say my breastfeeding mothers, one are busy in my past. So you are now competing between kuchucha gemari. Nekufana kuyamisa mwana. Mwana anoda kuchinjwa, mwana anoda kudya.
Still nyango kaita busy zvokunyura. Zamu riripo. Unosvina mukaka wacho. Mukaka unosvinwa. You can store deep freezer for 6 months or even a year.
But kushina kwacha kusizi kadzisi ngombe kangombe inongomira uchikama. Kupamba kushina is. Ndaishina mai vangu ini. She had my little sister. Why are you laughing? But I would feel for my mom. It didn't feel like it was an easy process.
True, because it comes out in very little quantity.
Yeah. And it was
it's about the mindset. Kushina mkaka kwakafanana nekuyamisa. Kana ukashina uine stress yekutosvina kwacho.
Yes.
I never expressed.
You really need to be relaxed.
Because I actually wanted to ask you, Auntie Faye, look, it's not about as long as you're stressed, no matter how much you try, someone I socio-economic issues keep coming every day. Tinejara toda kudya mudzimba vana mai vanofana kunoshanda vana mai vanofana kumboti ndosiya chimwana chine mwedzi mungandi munotengesa maprisons kumusika ndimbonohodha kumbare aenda kumbare maybe ora kutengesa zvinhu zvakanza stress yatobata mwana uya muswa wobvepi mukaka toita sei zvofamba sei
ine ndinoda kuti madzimai echidiki vachiri kuzvara vazive kuti kutakura nhumbu ibva wachitanga kugadzirisa upenyu hwako from there kuti mwana anonida patience. Remember you are so moody mwana wawo achazo maybe urikutotarisira kuti akuchengete. Saka kunonyoreswa kumaclinics nekumahospitals even in the private sector vanodzidziswa about breastfeeding. Saka kana uine information yakakwana kuti breastfeeding yakanakira ine maadvantages api, you then understand kuti there shall come a point yekuti ndikufanirwa kusvina mukaka. Ende kana uchigona kugara 6 months in fridge, it means we can calculate paunenge wakawandisa, especially kuma 8 hours ekuseni unosvina, kuseni futi unenge wakawanda wosvina. Chanaka mazuva ano kune mabreast pumps. Kana kuti unosvina nemaoko unochoose between the two what is easy for you, and then wostova mukaka wako mudeep freezer. Kana ada kustova mufiriji unogara for 4 hours.
So, I
mean 4 days, sorry, 4 days.
Okay.
Yes, 4 days. And then at room temperature unogara 3 to 6 hours.
So, you know, Auntie Faye, on private, I would beg to differ. My experience. I had a gynae, almost 40 weeks. If we don't meet at the hospital, I'll see you at the next. If I don't see you at the hospital, we'll see you at the next visit. Until was hospital jara, BP yakakwira. If what on bag, we took the bag, we went, got there. They tried to induce jacaramba, emergency section, and then they operated on me. Maneraya, until you know you don't eat anything, they've cut you up. Your throat is dry from the drug ready, and then she for the anesthetic, ice block. You don't eat as well, and then there I am. I'm seeing my child. I'm a new mother, right? No one told me nothing about breastfeeding. For now, so that's the sister. I don't know, I'm a new mother. But remember, because the C-section, mukaka would automatically. Was there a normal delivery where after you push, but it doesn't take long. charge yako mukana memwana eventually unozodi
Inobata sithe.
but I felt like sakadai nasina kuvhunza
How was I going to know?
unogona kutora mwana ane nzara you know.
So this let me answer you. Inini I mean the private sector.
Okay.
Ndinoona madzimai akawanda ende kuti anti-faith uko rakatobva.
Okay.
Yes, and I liked it because ukauya uri anti it means munhu achaopena up. And as a midwife you just don't look at pregnancy shit. You also address the social aspects and anything that may affect. So vanotoudzwa kunzi tina ningi choose wauri kuda for antenatal sessions. So it's either anotarisa home kana kuti anofunga kuti hazvina basa. A lot is happening nevana vedu vemazuva anaya zvezvokuti social media and social media it's giving a lot of information, but now havazogoni kuita I mean, which one is correct, and they take it wrong, wait and iri right, wosiya iri right. You know, there's a lot of confusion. A lot of confusion.
I'm so sad. We've got 2 minutes before we've got to say goodbye and welcome Just Precious coming in on the pulse. And you know that there's so many threads that have come out of this discussion that are so important. I thank you so much to our midwife Auntie Faye, who's here this morning, just helping us, you know, loosen up some discussions that we're not always easy to have. And the idea of breastfeeding, whether you can do it in the public or not, it is your baby's charger. Remember that. And to you, as a man, as a brother, as a father, it is the charging system of the nation.
Yes.
And to my Chiweshe, a pleasure having you. We look forward to having you come back and also posing some very critical questions. The etiquette that we must have in public spaces to help women be able to get comfortable to charge the baby. Jikai, I'm not surprised this came up, but I guess we can handle this one because we didn't get to the actual issue we wanted to, which was looking at living with HIV and having to breastfeed. Let's go. Pana Dr. Ayamao as well as the son. Hansi, it's also nutritional for adults. I don't know why I have a smile on my face about that. And family support is also very critical. A breastfeeding mom should get help with household chores so that she feeds the baby. This is also very, very important. And then there was one that came in. FoLake, my aunt, I'm very positive. Wash was living positively, but Viva Pamshonga, she breastfed for only 6 months without food and water, only milk. And after 6 months, and the baby is negative. So this, we were asking you what your experiences are with living with HIV and breastfeeding. If you are living positively, what has been your experience with breastfeeding? And it is still a discussion we're going to have. And Mainono, you might have heard of Mainono. She's a listener, and we contacted her because she's living positive with HIV, and she shared a story with us. We will discuss this next week. And if you also might have questions for us, by the way, we also live on our Facebook page. You can hop on, see this again, share it with anyone you think who needs it. If you have a question, get a hold of us so that we can address your questions next week right here on Sisters Keeper Kitchen Counter Table. I really want to give out your contact details. Okay, we're going to give out my Juju's number. So if you then want my Chiweshe and Auntie Faye's contact to get through my Juju, how do we get hold of you?
On Facebook as My Juju or on 0772 20290.
And this is where we leave it. I'll be back with you again tomorrow between 9 and 12. And of course, it's Thursday. So we're going to be starting off with all things to do with environment. And then, of course, your favorite car show is also lined up. Coming up next is the news bulletin. There was not going to be enough time to give up all your numbers.